Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. We're going to go in the news, get into a few things that are happening so that you can link these things to biblical prophecy and be comforted, all right? Tying everything that you go through, everything you see, tying it to biblical prophecy, to the scriptures, letting wisdom meet you in every thought, as a way to comfort yourself, as we're walking this path called the straight gate, in which we're given the order not to bow the knee to the image of Baal, which is exalting itself in many, many ways. This beast system, the image of the beast, which Esau wants to establish his name, all right, dominant over the Most High's creation, all right, meaning creation wasn't created by Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Creation was created by me. And we're going to get into a few things that are leading to his demise. We're at the end of Esau's world. And as the scriptures say, it's going to be associated with many, wonders and signs and effects. And these things that we go through, they're a part of it. Although this is controlled opposition, the elite are using these very things that we're witnessing to bring about their NWO, all right, which you won't have rights, which you're losing your rights every day, all right. And when you get into this situation here, which we'll talk about, we'll start with this. You have Donald Trump being removed from president ballots, meaning he can't go and campaign, all right, in this particular city or place. So Trump has been removed from the Colorado presidential ballot, meaning when the participants or those who are contesting to be president, present themselves for a debate or this or that, if you in Colorado, you can't go, all right? You can't, you won't be able to represent yourself. You lose voters, and I believe that this is a proponent that's going to lead to civil war amongst many other things that are happening, all right? The immigrants, which we'll get into that, but what we're witnessing is the two horns like a lamb, all right, prepare to speak as a dragon through draconian measures. And all of these figures are used as figureheads to take away rights, all right, to give people a hope and savior. There's all manner of witchcraft going on, even with a guy like Donald Trump, which he's an Edomite, and he's being used as a pawn within this whole, ploy to take away your rights. Through him, just because you don't agree with someone, you can, deem them unfit to be free. All right. You can, kick their platform off of the internet just based upon you not liking them, just based on you not agreeing with them, just based on his premise being a threat, to our, our peace. And when you get into the reason that they're removing Donald Trump from the ballot in these particular states. Now, when you go here, let's go here. Bring this up as well. Okay, Michigan and California are next, all right, are the next states looking to remove Trump from ballot. Okay, so this can very well be a proponent that will cause civil war, as a lot of people are Donald Trump supporters. You see, a lot of people are Donald Trump supporters. A lot of people who even, supported Biden and was, a lot of them, started listening to particular podcasts and people, and they're like, why am I mad at Trump? They say they mad at him because he's disrespectful, he's this. And you niggas are just so mad at Donald Trump. And he's the devil, don't get it twisted, but what party has historically had a foot up your ass from its inception? A democracy. All right, which democracies started in Greece, that concept. We're living in the Greco-Roman Empire all over again. Hey, hell, Andrew Jackson was a Democrat. And what was he known for? What stems from democracies? Okay, tyranny. The most harshest tyrannical times have come under democracies. Okay? And this is what's getting ready to take place here in the planet Earth right now. So now you got Michigan and California as states that are looking to remove Trump from the ballot. And their reasoning, or as a matter of fact, let's listen to this. And this is going to be a proponent of civil war. Okay, because it's just a takeover. And the Biden administration, all right, is allowing all of these immigrants over here. They're doing the bidding of the elite. You see? Basically setting up order out of chaos to take away all your civil liberties and establish a technocracy. All right, your Bill of Rights, which turned to amendments, we'll show you that. That's over. Your civil liberties and freedoms, those days are over. Now let's listen to a little bit of this so you can get an understanding a little bit, and we'll get into why he's being removed. Basically, it has to do with that 1-6 situation, and it had to be on the 6th. Basically, what happened? All right, they supposedly stormed the Capitol building, which, to prove that we're in ancient Rome, the Capitol building, all right, goes back to the Capitolone building in Rome. All right, and they had 7 hills in Rome. Now, the Capitolone building at one point was stormed. People stormed the Capitoline building in ancient Rome, and here in America, you had it so-called stormed, which we believe, a lot of these things are orchestrated. You know what it is. Okay, if they didn't want it to happen, it wouldn't have happened. If that really happened, them people would have been blown to smithereens. If that was a true dealing, you could go run up in the Capitol building. Come on, man. But because they're saying Trump incited that, okay, he's in violation of the third section of the 14th Amendment, which was put in place after the Civil War, I believe, around that era, where the South seceded, okay, from the state, the United States, and they basically formed a coup, and they shot, some missiles for their rights to slaves, the South. All right, they pretty much, when you go into that history of America. Okay, the civil wars. Okay, this particular civil war was what? A result of the South saying we have a right to have slaves, which that was changed up with particular amendments to the original Bill of Rights, which that pertained to Edomites, the Bill of Rights. That don't pertain to you niggas. That was always for them. And it started as 10, but we'll get into that. But let's listen to this a little bit.
In a rather stunning and definitely unprecedented decision, Colorado's Supreme...
Basically, that amendment in the third section of the 14th Amendment says if you are a leader, okay, of in a chief office and you incite any violence, then you've broken, all right, the law. So they're using that particular amendment to justify him not being able to campaign in their state, which this is going to be a growing narrative. and it's gonna lead to more division. This devil, he got all kind of stuff going on in this big pot of witchcraft.
Supreme Court has ruled that since Donald Trump engaged in an insurrection, and due to the Constitution's 14th Amendment, he will not appear on Colorado's ballot for the 2024 presidential election. Now, there are some caveats to this, and I want to give you those caveats. So first, the court made this ruling 4-3 that Trump isn't an eligible president.
And there's about 3 Donald Trumps. He looks different all the time. If you know, you know. You know, those of y'all who are on that, you know, he be looking different. Biden too. There's a big when the Bible says Babylon the Great, it don't just mean, you know, Babylon means confused. This is great confusion, double rebellion, which is a name Jeremiah gave it, Marathiam. All right, which mar means what? Bitter, amargo, amarca. So Jeremiah described this place in the Bible and gave a hint at what would be in the root of its name. Bitter. America means bitter, amargo. All right, this is a bitter experience.
Presidential candidate because of the 14th Amendment's insurrectionist ban. The ruling, though, will be placed on hold pending an appeal on until January 4th. So election officials in the state, which by the way has 10 electoral college votes, said that the decision has to be made ultimately by January 5th. And that is because January 5th is the statutory deadline to set the list of candidates for the GOP primary. So I have no doubt that the Trump team is going to attempt to appeal this decision. And I want to be clear that this is specifically in the state of Colorado. This is the state's highest court making this decision in regard to the state of Colorado. This will not impact other states.
Well, we just showed you. Now you got Michigan and California. You see? Let's get the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. And what somebody can do is find the history on the Capitoline building being raided and put it into the comment board. Okay, that way there'll be information for people to look into the comment board and learn, and then they can build up on that. You know, I can't look everything up. Videos be long anyway. So this is Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb. All right. This is the revival of Rome. This is describing the little horn described in Daniel, the 7th chapter, which would mark the revival of that 4th beast, which was Rome. OK, which you got to know these things to understand where we are in prophecy, because after the revival of that 4th beast, Yahweh Shai returned. This is why our faith is at an all-time high. And based upon what's written in the scriptures, okay? Hey, just like Jacob, you know, in Genesis, the 33rd chapter, he held the Lord to his promise. He said, look, you the one who said you go make me a large multitude and bless my seed. So save me from Esau, because he had knew and understood Esau was mad, and he's mad now. He's getting ready to come down with great wrath. So the end of Esau's world, as the scriptures says, right? What does it say in the book of 2nd Esdras? Hold up. 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it, the kingdom of heaven. You see? Which is not going to be for all nations. It's going to be for the Israelites. The nations will be there, but they will be in subject to the Israelites. So the final leg of Esau's rulership is through Babylon the Great. Okay? And it came up out of the earth, and it had 2 horns like a lamb. All right? And this represents his 2 opposing, you know, philosophy of democrat, republic. You know, in Rome, it was the plebeians and patricians. His whole system is set up one against the other, and he uses that as a snare, you know, to give people the illusion of choice, the illusion of freedom. So he had two horns like a lamb, and a lamb is known as being meek, humble. All right, just like Joe Biden presents himself as all, soft spoken, but inwardly he's a complete dragon. See, he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And Draco, all right, it was an Athenian lawgiver, Athens, Greece. All right, Athens, Greece. Remember, we're in the Roman Empire all over again, but what was before the Roman Empire? The Greeks, the Greco-Roman Empire, which there's remnants of that culture here today. That's why you have a gymnos. Gymnos is a Greek word that means naked. When we talk about how the image of the beast is speaking, is through that fashion, the customs, the ways, even the Bill of Rights, okay, itself. It's based upon ancient Rome. We'll get that. So America is with this, the end of Esau's world comes through this particular beast being raised up and them instituting that charagma. You see, that's where the end of his world comes. So this is why we are so fervently bringing all of this stuff out about the charagma and going into these news and prophecies when we get time. Okay, because there's a lot happening. So you have to address this, that, but the prophets are here to prophesy. See? So he had two horns like a lamb. He came peacefully through these two parties, but he spake as a dragon. Meaning, he again, just look up Draco. Somebody look up Draco and put him into the comment section. Okay, he's an Athenian lawgiver. Or what does draconian mean? Draconian measures they talk about, right? Draconian measures. Let's look it up real quick. Draconian definition. Okay? It's time for you to know something. It's time that we got to be on a level, man. Because a lot of you notice now that you have this wisdom, a lot of people are really just talking. A lot of people are just talking out the side of their mouth, and they play up on the fact that people really don't know what the hell they're talking about, so they're able to get away with the madness. Oh boy. Yeah, we'll look up draconian real quick if it goes, but if not, we'll go back to this video real quick. Hold up. And so you can understand what they're doing with this Trump thing. Because they're getting ready to take away your rights. Okay, remember the original Bill of Rights was for civil freedoms, civil liberties that dealt with personal issues amongst the people, their rights. The right to bear arms. We'll show you. Right to form an assembly against a wicked and corrupt government. See, but with the amendments, they amended those particular rights and added amendments. What is that? Little changes so that people wouldn't rebel and they wouldn't have the right to rebel. And this is what so-called Trump represents in the grand scheme of the two horns like a lamb. He's bringing back that, that spirit of, the America great again, when America was America. And remember, Thomas Jefferson warned that a government that tried to attack the true essence of the Bill of Rights, it would lead to corruption. So draconian is exceeding harsh, pertaining to Draco, a famous lawgiver of Athens, Greece, in 621b. All right, used especially in the phrase draconian punishment. A code of laws made by Draco. Their measures were so severe they were said to be written in letters of blood. Hence, any laws of excessive rigor. Okay, so when it's all said and done, for the sake of climate, the sake of safety, the sake of this, they're going to be able to push some very, very harsh measures. You're not going to be able to, upload things onto the net. You're not going to be able to have an opinion by law now. All right. You have no right or freedoms as a human being. So they use these two opposing parties, two horns like a lamb, but eventually they're getting ready to speak as a dragon, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him. This is where you get a Senate, ancient Rome. Okay, democracy, the Greeks and the Romans, but Rome was a republic, which, pretty much the republic is based upon, hey, look, you follow these, look, we're the hierarchy, you're under me, you follow these rules, you'll be all right. These are the rules, and a democracy is more so, what do the people need? What do the people want? And we'll base and dictate the laws around civil liberties and, freedom of choice and this and that. And it's a mess. It's a goddamn mess. The kingdom of heaven is going to be a righteous, a righteous republic. All right. Although we're not going to have, it's going to be far better, but it's going to be based upon you keeping, our way. Okay. The republic, dealt, with family values, Esau having his own. It was for his people. And now those civil liberties, they're gone. So a lot of these Edomites are pissed off. Okay, it's going to be them mainly who rebel. So he's exercising the power of the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. And let's get away, because the Bill of Rights, okay, which what Trump did on 1/6, technically in the original Bill of Rights, you could have been heard. Your cause could have been heard as to why you did that. Is the government acting out of order? Are things right, or have they gone mad? So when you deal with Trump, real quick, we'll get back to that in just a minute. When you deal with this guy Trump, that's the perspective he's coming from, which goes back to the Civil War. They pretty much succeeded. The South succeeded from the state. All right, the whole Union. All right, of the United States of America, and said we're going independent. All right, because y'all ain't gonna. We can have slaves, nigga, and they fought a war. They fought a war. And who did they put on the front line? You niggas, you Israelites. They put your asses on the front line. Made you fight them wars. You were the reason they were winning. Anyway, let's get into this and then we'll go back.
Now, Trump, of course, denies any wrongdoing regarding January 6th and has decried the 14th Amendment lawsuits as an abuse of legal process. And just to give you some...
an abuse of legal process. So that goes back, to that rebellion. Because the 13th Amendment, all right, which we'll show you, basically it changed your right, to assembly, freedom of assembly, and you could look up freedom of assembly, where you can assemble a coup, against a wicked government. You would have that right. Okay, and this is what they're getting ready to push and say. This is what the people are doing. They're a threat to our system. We have to get these kind of people out of the way. This is what it's all leading to. You just have to watch how the devil, he goes in so many ways. He's doing so much that drills on the minds of the people, preparing them for the slaughter that's coming. Oh boy.
some more information about the 14th Amendment. It was ratified under the Civil War. The 14th Amendment says that officials who take an oath to support the Constitution are banned from future office if they engaged in insurrection. But the wording is vague. It doesn't explicitly mention the presidency and has only been applied twice since 1919. So the story is developing. It literally just broke. I'm curious what you think about it.
See? So the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, she just read it. Basically, you can't have an assembly. All right? Freedom of assembly. And this was the original 10 amendments. Just like we have 10 commandments. Here it is. Esau has 10 amendments. And somebody put on the comment board how the Constitution, all right, or the Bill of Rights is linked to Rome. Just find something. So look it up. There's research. Okay? Just type in terms, the Constitution based on Roman law, the Constitution linked to Rome, and you'll find something that you can, put into the comment section. All right? Whoever does it. Baba Kasha. And it dealt with what? Your individual rights, freedoms, petitions. You can have a petition. You can assembly. You can bear arms. You can, you can gather soldiers. Okay. So the 14th Amendment said if you, the third section of the 14th Amendment said basically if you hold any public office, and you gather soldiers, or you use the people who are with you to fight a war, or you assemble, basically you're breaking the law. See, and Trump is trying to protect that. So there's a lot happening, but rights in criminal cases, which the law is complete, it's all corrupt now. Okay, the people who are in power is nothing but chemicals in the food. Everything's destroyed. Okay, everything's unjust. You don't have no rights to a fair trial. You don't have rights in civil cases. You don't have bail, fine, punishments. You don't have these things. Little by little, especially after the 9/11. All right, they've pretty much taken away your civil liberties. Using fear tactics, false flags, and all kinds of stuff. Okay? So this devil, let's see here. The Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. The Constitution was first 10 the Bill of Rights. We just read them, right? The Bill of Rights, which was your rights as an individual, as an Edomite. Niggas didn't have these rights. Jake didn't have these rights. As an Edomite, these were your rights. Okay? That was the original, all right, 10, all right, the Constitution. Okay? And then they got amended. That's where you get the rest. But the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, spells out Americans' rights in relation to their government. It guarantees civil rights and liberties to the individual, like freedom of speech, press, and religion, which if you look at what the system that they're putting in place through this democracy, they're taking away your rights and your freedoms. See? Even taking away your right to bear arms. And you think you're going to take the so-called white man's gun? Hell no. So these are the things Trump is standing for, which can all be tied to radicalism, which can all be tied to people trying to take up arms against the government, which can be tied to all kind of things, man. Anti-Semitism, all kinds of stuff can come from that, although Trump supports the small hats. But there was a point where he kind of rebelled against them. So it's all kind of stuff happening.
This Jake.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm thrilled that people are beginning to read the 14th Amendment. Yes, you should read the whole thing. It's got amazing parts to it. So in this case, there's no question that the 14th Amendment says that if you participate in an insurrection, obviously meaning the Civil War, but beyond, it didn't just say the Civil War. They said any insurrection against America, you cannot hold office. And that makes sense. And is what Trump did an insurrection. Yeah, definitely. He had fake electors ready to do a coup.
And through that, the leaders set up, or or what you don't real leadership ain't put in for basically for their purpose, but people who are puppets are put in. Okay, and if things go left, they got to go with the program, or they're put to death. Okay, they're not able to fight for those original rights that Edomites once had. This is what the so-called white man is mad about. Y'all hear? You see these Edomites? Okay, mad, talk about America. It's us against the bankers. No, they're mad that they don't have that shit no more. When they say make America great again, that's what Trump is talking about, man. He's talking about Edomites being able to just be Edomites and win. Okay? And you niggas be beneath them. That's the plan. But now you have all of these amendments, which what is an amendment? An amendment is altered. It's altered. So you don't the original your rights are being taken away from you, little by little, through these events that just keep popping up. Okay, you got the serial shooters, you got these sicknesses that are popping up, and through all of these things, they're able to either propose or to pass legislation that they already have on books to take away your rights, to do this, to do that. Your rights over your own body going. You got to put this in it. Telling that's what it's all coming to. A major change in addition designed to improve a text of legislation, and they amended it to their needs based upon them fully getting what they wanted, which was what they have now, a new world order being established, where you don't have freedom of speech. So Edomites are divided against Edomites, and that's what this is going to lead to. Let's get the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, and let's read this in the NLT real quick. We just, dabbling in a little information, because we be hearing these things. It's good to kind of know a little bit. I'm not an expert in all this, but I understand how it applies to prophecy, which that's really, you just know it that much and you good. But to get into it technically, some brothers do that too. This message, this is Isaiah 19:1. This message came to me concerning Egypt, and this is the new Egypt, where the chariot is going to return and deliver the children of Israel, the new Passover. Okay? Where he's going to defend Jerusalem and pass over her, pursuant to Isaiah, the 31st chapter. Okay? The Lord is advancing against Egypt, riding on a swift cloud. The idols of Egypt tremble, and the hearts of the Egyptians shall melt. Okay? This is what I wanted, verse 2, Salakia, but hey, we got the job done. I will make Egyptian fight against Egyptian, brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor, city against city, province against province. That's what's getting ready to happen. Civil war, which is one of the tools that's going to be used by the Most High to weaken Babylon. Because what does the scripture say in Mark 3:24 in the NLT? A city divided by civil war will collapse. And everybody's divided. Men are divided against women. Children are divided against parent. Daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. And that's prophecy. Okay? Division. Let's get that. So all of this fulfills prophecy, but these are tools happening in the earth to keep people divided. Okay? The Lord said he came to bring division. And this is going to lead to more division. This is going to be leading to civil unrest. Hold up. Rather division? Damn. What is it? S on it. This is Matthew 10:34. Daughter-in-law, 10:34. This is a good one. It says, think not that I am come to send peace on the earth. I have not come to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Man's foes will be they of his own household. People will be fighting over the juice, okay, because they're going to ban particular information, okay, and they're going to be able to deem you as a problem. Google announces largest ever ban of non-mainstream content. They're losing the information war. So the offender for a word is getting ready to happen. And Trump is a tool to usher that in. He's just one of many. So ahead of these 2024 elections, which there might not even be an election, Biden may just, fall somewhere. When older people get older, they fall. He may just fall and be through, and the people lose it because of Trump, or if either or whoever gets in, or if Trump gets blocked or whatever they do, people are gonna lose it. People are pissed off. His ratings have absolutely dropped. Okay, he's the laughing stock of the world, but they're gonna get away a lot of mainstream content. And if you see it, brothers pages, they're removing all kind of videos. Now they're not giving you strikes, but they're like, well, this just can't be on here, because they know it'll be kind of ridiculous with the strikes. But they give you strikes, but more so they were just removing videos here and there. You may not even notice it. You may have seen it a couple of years ago, but it's not there no more. Esau took it down. This doesn't really go in line with the future of what we want YouTube to be. Little by little, they're taking away your rights. AI is honing in on certain pages. AI is just getting stronger, and that's how they're going to govern this world, by artificial wisdom, programmed to do their bidding. But they're going to lose control, man. According to Google and YouTube, they are both planning to censor content they deem harmful to voters in the run-up election. So there's particular talking points that are associated with Trump's side of things, okay, that they they're going to deem harmful, because a lot of these truthers, okay, although they off, according to the America's cry, these Edomites cry, it makes sense, like Google, YouTube confirmed that it will enforce its existing censorship policies ahead of 2024 elections. All right, including those that apply to election misinfo and harmful conspiracy theories. There we go. We always go into what that mean. You see, complete madness, man. These policies resorted in the censorship of tens of thousands of videos, many popular channels, yada, 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 So these devils are all over the place. Putin exposes the truth about fake moon landings. Yeah, people still believe the Edomite went to the moon. This dude has lost his mind. And people are waking up to your BS. The elites are even being called out. This is why, 79% of young Americans, not just black people, even your own kind, believe so-called white people are evil and should be punished. You see? And we know that there's propaganda tied to this. You see? But this is a narrative in the earth, because Esau at the very end, he would be called out. Okay? He would be called out. As a matter of fact, it talks about that Inquisition. What is that in Second Esdras? Let's get Second Esdras chapter 6 and 18. And it said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell on the earth. And that's what the Lord is doing. That's why all of these things are happening. And will begin to make inquisition of them for what they have done and hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of science shall be fulfilled. So we're at the end of our punishment. But the Lord is making inquisition, which is an investigation. So so-called white people are feeling that. That's why there's this term, it's okay to be white. Every time it comes out that somebody's so-called black, they lose their mind. Oh, everybody's black. You know, they feel the heat of that investigation. There's a call in the earth, like them being tied to being Edomites. That's a narrative in the earth now. Things have changed through this word going out. You see? And see, the punishment that they're going to get in the scriptures is tied to the return of the Lord. But the curses is flipping onto them and they're losing. But when you go to the scriptures, get it real quick in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. So things are going to get wild, man. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and the 5th verse, it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death. He wants everybody. Because when it's all said and done, what are they doing? Okay? That's what all of this is going to lead to. Things are going to get so crazy, we're going to need to implement a system, all right, which 50 countries signed treaty with Gil Bates to implement a social credit score system. You see that? So that's where it's all going. Because things are going to get so crazy through that civil war, through Egyptian being going against Egyptian. Okay? It's all going to lead to them, you know, passing these legislation. But we'll get back to that. I want to go back to 2nd Esdras 19 and 6. So Esau is feeling the heat. Okay? Pursuing the Habakkuk 2. That's where I was at. In 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth in that which is not his. And that's the elites. That's not, you know, every regular, everyday so-called white people, they lost out. They threw. We certain Jakes got more money than them, better jobs than them. They hurting in their own kingdom, which is they're under the curse. The curses are hitting them. Because this was supposed to be Esau's inheritance, this thing called America. This was supposed to be their, you know, where, you know, this is their blessing. So the elite have hoarded everything to themselves, especially after this 2020 thing, the C-19. You know, that brought about a great transfer of wealth to the elite, and the poor. You know, the middle class has been wiped out. So there's a parable being taken up against him, even by his own people, even by his own woman. Joan Rivers, she went out, she said, the Edomite men are the problem. She didn't say Edomite, but they're the problem with the earth, because the rulers of this earth are Edomite men right now, under what? Esau's blessing. And he can't have enough. See, that thick clay, all that debt. You see what I'm saying? So this devil, okay, is being called out. Okay, 79% of Americans between 18 and 24, Generation Z, they're going to be the ones that ride. They're going to be the ones who rise up too. Crazy, you know, but they believe that they're evil and should suffer punishment. Shock. 79% of Americans believe between 18 and 24. And when you look at all of the complaints you have in your life as a man or as a woman, who's at the forefront of that problem? Now, there are particular people of a particular race that you can say that may add to the problem, but who's at the root of the problem? Who controls this whole setup? Who has the means to make it better? You got trillionaires sitting up there with all of this wealth, and they refuse to use the ownership and resources that they have and influence that they have to change the earth and into a positive direction. They could change this thing around with the snap of a finger, with the power that they have, but they won't do it. Why? Because he is an unjust man. This is why the just is going to have to live by faith, but he is being called out. All right? As an oppressor. Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Woe to the oppressing city. Okay? And that this ideology should be favored today at universities. They want where the time, whatever, they want what's the name of that thing? The race. It was a historic. They wanted to teach real American history in the schools, but a lot of these governors rebelled against it. All right, to teach the truth about slavery. I forget the name of it was a term tied to it. Elder Malcolm used to talk about it a lot, but basically, it's coming out. What you devils have done, what you're doing, all kind of documentaries. So people are looking at Esau like, wait a minute. And he's being called out. And this ain't just Jake. A lot of Jake are calling him out, but a lot of other races are calling him out. Okay? Let's see here. Critical race theory. That's the name of it. Critical race theory. They rebelled. Edomites didn't want that to be taught. The truth, because they'll slip over. Yeah, Christopher Columbus. They'll teach you a little history. Yeah, Christopher Columbus stole the land from the natives, and they'll move right on, celebrating the damn day. Let's see here. You can read up on that, but where are we? Let's get back to so yeah, let's listen to a little bit more of this. Shit, we went all over the place, right? I don't even know what to say no more.
And install himself when he knew he had lost. That is an insurrection against America. So, point one, the ruling is logical. Mm-hmm. You can disagree with it politically, but it is logical. They're just enforcing what the 14th Amendment actually says. So then you can say, hey, I want to argue on the facts. Was it really an insurrection? No problem. That's what courts are for. So far, the Colorado Supreme Court has ruled, yes, it was an insurrection. They could appeal, and they could, and eventually they will almost certainly take this to the Supreme Court. So now there's one issue that I have with it, which is that if the different states start interpreting the 14th Amendment in different ways, the Supreme Court must resolve it. Because we cannot have Colorado banning Trump and some other states banning some other candidates that are potentially out on the ballots, and have this hodgepodge all over the country of blue states and red states blocking different candidates. So I urge the Supreme Court to take this on, take any 14th Amendment case on, and clarify what the rules are. And if I was on the Supreme Court on this one, I don't see how it's not an insurrection, and I don't see how the 14th Amendment wouldn't apply. It's literally written for...
And that thing was, they showed the police letting people in. That thing was all... But it repeated history. But again, we're living where these elites are bringing about these events to further their policy. Again, we know what the scriptures say. Daniel 8:25. This is speaking of Antiochus Epiphanes. But that spirit of Antiochus Epiphanes through the Greek Empire is here today as well. Daniel 8:25. And through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And these policies are leading to you losing your rights. All of these situations are leading to the people losing their rights. All right. So through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. The charagma is a part of his crafty devices, man. The jab, all that. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall he destroy many. So they're going to bring about that system of peace. That's going to be tied to this social credit score system, peace and safety. So by peace, he's going to destroy many. It's a snare. Okay? It's a snare. Okay? Because again, what did it say in Habakkuk? He wants to what? Heap unto him all nations. He wants to gather unto him all people. Okay? And the new modern Tower of Babel is going to be the gathering under this new digital system in which man will be merged with machine. Okay? So this thing with Trump is just going to lead to more civil unrest. Let's get this in the book of Second Esdras 15 and let's see here 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. See, they're going to have swords in their hands, fighting against one another. What is the modern day sword? And that's what they're trying to take. Okay, they're trying to take the Edomites' gun away. See, that's going to lead to what? Sedition. Okay, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. The modern day king and princes, your governors, your presidents, they're not going to regard them, because what's really getting ready to be instituted is a technocracy. That's going to be the new way of ruling. Don't they have a climate bill of rights? Let's look that up. Climate bill of rights. They have a new bill of rights. The Bill of Rights. Hold up. The Climate Constitution. Hold up. The new Climate 10 Commandments. Maybe that's what it is. Hold up. Yeah, they're bringing in a new way. The Pope's new 10 Commandments and a one world religion revealed. That was about a year ago they started to come out with that. The Pope to meet on Mount Sinai with world religious leaders to create a new 10 Commandments. And it's all dealing with that sea change. Fair use.
You can't make this stuff up.
About to happen on Mount Sinai is absolutely insane. Religious leaders are gathering November 6th through the 18th for a ceremony they're calling Returning to Sinai, where they say that they're going to issue a new 10 Commandments to repent for man-made climate change. The website Interfaith Center for Sustainable Development has an article discussing the upcoming event titled In Sinai, a prophetic call for climate justice and ceremony of repentance. Mount Sinai is of course where Moses received the 10 Commandments, but these religious leaders are actually calling for a new universal 10 Commandments. In that article it states the project partners will bring together premier religious leaders from the world's major religions to gather upon Mount Sinai to engage in a first ever climate repentance ceremony and to pull forth a prophetic religious call to action, climate justice, 10 universal commandments.
Why is it always Christianity? It's always Christianity. All
Shut
of the
up,
jokes,
nigga.
it's politically correct,
Nigga, shut up. This dude right here is a clown. We got on him before, but you saw it. I just wanted to use it for that. I don't. This dude is through. Well, Christianity's through. Christianity's in on the gig. Christianity helped to forward all of this garbage. You see, but there you go. Okay. And again, we see the direction the world is going. Okay. We see the direction the world is going, where these people are all agreeing to bring forth this new way, this new world. They're all in cahoots.
Have been revealed. I'm going to get into that in the ceremony that took place. Very prophetic in many different ways, and the Bible has a lot to say. Religions of the world coming, and how they're going to teach their different religions about how we really need to mainly be focusing on climate change and man-made climate change. And part of this event that's taking place is these religions decided to get together and meet at what is widely believed to be Mount Sinai. I know many people don't believe that what they claim to be Mount Sinai is, and it's in a different location, but they believe that it's at this Mount Sinai where Moses received the original First Commandments, and they were going there to have a mock ceremony of their own for their new climate 10 Commandments. Now, before I read what the new climate 10 Commandments are, I want to point out what took place in the ceremony, because it's almost as insane as bringing forth a new 10 Commandments. This article is from the Times of Israel, and it says, activists smashed tablets atop Mount Sinai to launch faith-based climate push. So for anyone who's unaware, when Moses first received the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai, he came down from the mountain with them, saw the Hebrews down there worshiping a golden calf that had been made in replace of God, and Moses...
You can look more up on that if you want. You know, the bottom line is this all calls for them to come down with great wrath to get rid of a whole hell of a lot of people, especially you Jakes. All right, Dr. Klob, Dr. Slob, this is an Edomite right here, boy. And he's tied to the Red Shield people. He's really one of them. But you know they changed their names. But he demands 3.5 trillion per year in taxes to decarbonize the planet. Now, the carbon is the backbone of DNA. Like, what are you doing? Carbon, everything flows through this molecule. Everything flows through. If you take away carbon, basically, we be through. This man is completely out of his mind. Just look up something. What would happen if the carbon was less carbon was in the earth? And they're talking about how breathing is heating up the earth. They're basically, this is all a call for them to come together to agree, okay, to establish this new way that's going to be predicated upon saving the earth, peace and safety. Decarbonize the planet. Carbon is one of the most important things that drive the life as we know it. We lose the greenhouse effect. Things that we need, but they're saying are systems that are heating up and ruining the earth. The natural course of things is becoming a problem. So within the NWO, they're saying we need to establish a new way to live on the planet Earth. Through technology is going to save it. Science, we can save it through our science. You see? Oh, man. Oh, God. This man, I mean, if you can't see who the devil is, if you can't see who the man of sin is, then I don't know what to tell you. According to their perspective, the solution involves significant reduction in the general public's quality of life, coupled with the transfer of substantial funds to the global elite. This is what it's all about. Okay? The realization of their net zero targets align with the green agenda of these people. And these are words that are being targeted now, aiming to address the perspective of climate crisis to save the planet. See, peace and safety. See, it's all peace and safety. When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction is going to come on them. And the charagma is going to be a part of their peace and safety. So that we can know who's who, what's what. Because they're throwing so many things at you. The threat of this, the threat of that, the threat of sickness, the threat of the terror, the threat of this. Everywhere's a threat. Problem, reaction, solution, division. Everywhere you see, division is all of these things are being brought about, and we don't know who these damn these particular people they're letting over here. By the millions. All right, by the hundreds of thousands, by the thousands they're over here. These particular people they're letting over here. And they're gonna have a climate constitution. Everything's gonna be upgraded into this new way they're trying to establish on the planet Earth. And it's all tied to them causing all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive that charagma. But look at this. 12,000 migrants cross southern border. Look at that. We don't know who these people are. A lot of these could be goddamn shit like fucking savages trained, you know, to just destroy, man. And in case of something like a blackout that they're talking about coming, hey man, all hell's gonna break loose. It's gonna be a lot happening. But division is on the rise. Let's checking this out. Let's see here.
Say he would have healed Babylon.
This is the brother GMS Vegas sit downs 144K Karatas. I want to play this video. He put on this video. Babylon is done. Border crisis is going to lead to further chaos and rebellion from within. Because these people are going to lose their minds. All these immigrants over here getting all of this free money while the Americans are just suffering. The money they gave to Ukraine while Americans are just suffering. The money that's given to Israel while Americans are suffering. So people are going to lose it.
Well, you can definitely expect there to be, you know, seditions and, you know, uprisings from these different groups, these different individuals out here. All right. So anyway, this is based in Eagle Pass, Texas, where they said almost 11,000 migrants that came through. So let me play this clip real quick.
So this is Eagle Pass, Texas. Freight trains are being stopped so that they can let all the illegals back into the country. Can you believe what this administration is doing? Look at the thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Texas, you have it right. I'd turn them all away. Legal immigration is what the United States needs, not illegal immigration.
And you got a lot of these Edomites that all have the same sentiment. And you had Greg Abbott. You know, he used his legislative power as governor to send for law enforcement to start arresting what they deem illegal immigrants.
See, and Trump was calling for that border control. But now Biden, he's letting all of these people in. The freaks are being liberated. It's just a shit show, a perverse spirit. So this place is getting ready to be judged. All right. But yeah, this devil was talking about decarbonizing the planet, which that means a lot of people got to go basically at the end of the day. These are just talking points on the left hand, but they know what the hell they're saying. All right. Because what people possess the most carbon, the most life. And it's in spirit, the more than anything, which makes us greater. The Israelites. Carbon is life. Okay. So this dude, these people are getting ready to come down. 2024, hey man, Lord willing, it's the year, man, because this is getting crazy. If it ain't the year, but when it's said and done, it's gonna be a change in life on the planet Earth, man. Because Revelation tells you, let's get it real quick. So yeah, we're gonna see civil war. Yeah, let's read this again. Daniel 8:25, and through his policy he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall he destroy many. Antiochus, that's what he did. You know, he came peaceable first, but eventually he forced his way on the nations, including the Jews. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. So this is what this Edomite is doing. His spirit is back here today. Okay. Revelation, the 12th chapter. So this man is mad. He's losing his goddamn mind. Revelation 12:11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Out preaching, and they love not their lives unto the death. That's the elect, those that ain't gonna bow the knee. Okay, they're a sacrifice for Yahweh Bashim Yahshua within the story, and he's gonna deliver them. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. And Esau knows, all right, what's happening. He can downplay what he see, but he sees the Israel. He sees Jacob on his heel. So rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Everything is suffering. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So the devil knows his time is short. So a lot of things are being put in place. They're on their last leg. This is the point where they can't look back. You see, they can't look back. So they all they can do is move forward with what they want to bring forth. Food producers caught quietly, deceitfully pumping insects into children's food. Okay, anybody who cares about health, the health of their family, and does not wish to introduce bugs, insects, and crickets into their diet will need to start reading labels on food items very closely. Mainstream food producers, through those who are in power, this is the type of power they have. This is the threat they pose. They can pass legislation to allow things in your food and label it as something else, or just say organic. What's organic to the devil? Mainstream food producers have been caught quietly, deceitfully sneaking bugs. Meanwhile, farmers are being put out. The middleman is being put out. All his land is being bought, and your food is coming from what's grown there, and it's all genetically altered. It's their creation. But they've been caught deceitfully sneaking bugs and various species of insects into ingredients list for popular everyday snacks for children. All right, as the push to force feed humanity with insects reaches supermarket shelves. So it's already here, the fake food. In recent years, Klaus Schwab and the WEF have been stating that humanity must stop consuming red meat, all right, and start eating bugs instead of insects and crickets. Instead, these plans are now advanced. And of course, we know crickets are lawful, but that's in the John the Baptist ate locust and honey. Okay, but he's putting all kind of, I'll eat that on my own discretion. Let me eat it if I want to eat it. Don't force put no crickets in the food, man. Okay, and see, we saying now, but let's say your ass is in a famine, and you have the ability to roast some crickets, and you know that they lawful. Hey, in that moment, hey. The locusts come. Hey, if you gotta survive on what's lawful and the Lord provides it for you. Hey, it says these plans are now advanced. E120 and E904 are additives found in many food products which are obtained from insects. There are currently more than 100 products containing these additives. Disturbingly, most of these products are intended for children. See this madness? This fulfills us eating our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles, man, as a punishment. But the man of sin, you see these numbers? You can look it up further on your own. See what this video says. You got it. What is E904? Shellac resin secreted by the female lac bug used in. Oh yeah, they got all kind of stuff in these foods from bugs. As a glazing agent to reduce moisture loss in fruit. Oh yeah, they got all kind of wax and all kind of stuff in the food, in the fruits, to make it look more appealing. They put all kind of chemicals on it. They spray all kind of chemicals on it. So this is the devil we're dealing with. This is a part of him coming down with great wrath, and it's only going to get worse. And when it's all said and done, people are going to lose their minds. Okay, he's even what? He wants to modify cows to change the climate. Okay? He wants to modify cows as a part to fight climate change. So everything is moving towards this issue with climate. And it's all centered around your ass not being able to freely roam the earth and have and breathe and fart and talk shit. You're going to have to sit your ass down somewhere. All right. And it's like it says here, we were reading it in 2nd Ezra 15. There's going to be sedition among men. All right. Verse 16. And there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and he shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. So all of this pride, all of this wickedness, you're going to desire to go no, you're going to be subjected to one particular part of the city, 15-minute cities, which are clearly a part of the agenda. Okay? So you got all manner of craziness going on. Okay, all manner of craziness going on. Why he wants to modify the cow so that it's less harmful on the earth, as if the Most High didn't have that figured out when he said it was good. All creation was created, it was good. Goodness gracious, man. Wow. Gates told the summit in Paris that nations worldwide are not advancing quickly enough to meet the goals of the WEF net zero targets. Zero carbon emissions. Mega is crazy. We are behind on our short-term goals in advancing, all right, the green agenda. So look for more of this in 2024. Okay? Rich countries owe it to the world to keep costs low for green technology. So they're putting the poor as if they're helping the poor. But it's all a snare. All right, to put you in not one of the worst kind of captivity known to mankind. He claims that AI helps third world farmers obtain better weather forecasts and analysis for the crops and climate. He then argued that methane emissions from meat production are major contributors to climate change. So animals, livestock, that's, the one of the foundations of earth, of life, farming, all of the things that we've, lived off of all of these years. Now it's a new way got to be put. Okay. He continued by pushing plans to manipulate cows through breeding to lower their methane output. So he's going to create cows that breathe less, that don't fart. He's going to genetically modify them to do his bidding. He's playing the Most High. He continued by pushing plans to manipulate cows through breeding to lower their methane. Gates suggested that cows could be given some other inputs that would presumably alter their genetic state to stop them from farting and burping. Oh my goodness. Did y'all hear this? No, I see two new amazing approaches, Gates said after steering the conversation to meat production. By improving the cow breeding and giving some other inputs, we can reduce their methane emissions. Wow. Like to hear it? Here you go. God damn. Okay, here we go. This is crazy. So this is the man of sin.
The same thing for the agricultural sector. Beef. And now I see two very amazing approaches. By improving the cow breeding and giving them some other inputs, we can reduce their methane emissions. And this new prioritization of the methane.
I don't care how wicked niggas are. They're not sitting around somewhere talking about, man, let's genetically alter the cow. Let's genetically alter the chicken so that it fry on its own.
Work I applaud that, because in terms of the near-term temperature increase, methane plays a very big role.
Imagine what these Edomites are doing off camera. This is madness. I don't know what to say. And he's everywhere, which there may be a few of him too. California approved Bill Gates' plan to make residents drink their own feces. Residents to drink their own feces by dumping sewage back into the drinking water supply. The California State Water Resources Control Board voted to approve regulations that would, oh my goodness, man. Oh man. Let's get a scripture here real quick. You know, point was made. I'll do the rest of what I had tomorrow. The wickedness of the wicked, it got to come to the end. It's got to stop. I mean, what could we say about what we're reading? What could we say? And it's not like it's some made up crazy conspiracy. Well, the conspiracies exist. You know? Psalms 79 and 7 and 9. Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous God try the heart and reins, man. So Lord, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, man. So, you know, we brought out enough information. This is madness, man. Shalom.